Welcome everyone to the final Content Spirit Group session where we are going to be exploring creating win for all solutions and being the resolution. So let's have our opener today center on us being the resolution. And as spiritual beings, we often find that embodying a particular quality, such as peace, love, or forgiveness, in and of itself can transform challenging situations. So this is what I'd like you to do. I invite everyone right now, you can close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. And I'd like you to think of a current challenge or situation in your life where you want to embody resolution. And as you think of that challenge or situation in your life where you want to embody resolution, I invite you to choose one word that represents the quality that you want to bring to that situation. It could be peace, patience, trust, compassion, humility, love. Find the word that contains the frequency that you want to bring. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And now I'm going to do two things. I'm going to ask if there's someone in the group who can write down everyone's word. And then for the activity, I would like each of you to share your chosen word with the group. And I encourage you to say it aloud with intention, affirming your commitment to embody that quality. So for example, you can say, I am becoming peace, and I affirm my commitment to embody that quality. So say what you are, what quality you're becoming, and that you are affirm that you are committed to embody that quality. So do that activity, and then the person taking the notes, after everyone is shared, I invite you to close by inviting the group to collectively affirm their words. And then you can lead them in a simple affirmation such as, we are the resolution, we embody, and then list every word that was said by a group member. So my hope is that this brief exercise brings out an intentional tone to align each of you with being the resolution that you want to be in all situations in your life, in our community, and in the world. Enjoy. Hello, beloved spirit groups. Welcome to our final content week of the Fall 2024 Spirit Group series on the 15 commitments of conscious leadership. How we all in our lives, our families here at Unity of Tustin, our beloved community, and the world can be spiritual leaders who live and behave and aspire, at the very least, to relate to all of life from above the line. So today we are going to overview the final two commitments of this book. Commitment 14, creating win for all solutions, and commitment 15, which is being the resolution. So let's start with commitment 14, creating win for all solutions. The above-the-line behavior is I commit to creating win for all solutions. Win for me, win for the other person, win for the organization, and win for the whole, for whatever issues, problems, concerns, or opportunities life gives me. It's a lovely aspiration. I can think of several times I have not done that. but the aspiration is quite inspiring. The below-the-line commitment is I commit to seeing life as a zero-sum game, creating win-lose situations for whatever issues, problems, concerns, or opportunities life gives me. So let's explore this in a little more depth. This is very connected to our enoughness mindset. And when we develop the consciousness of having enough of everything that we explored earlier, we begin to create win-for-all solutions organically, where with compassion and collaboration, everyone comes out ahead. Scarcity beliefs, however, lead to zero-sum win-lose solutions. Many people think of life as a pie of fixed resources for which they must compete with one another. Any money you have is money I don't get. Energy I use with you is energy I don't have available for someone else. Time does not increase. There's only 24 hours in a day. So the time you spend with your kids is time you don't spend at your work, which is time you don't spend with your partner, which is time you don't spend with your friends. Any piece of the pie someone takes is a piece you don't get, and everything is in competition with everything else. This is also one of those beliefs in a strange way is a cultural norm. And in this zero-sum game, we have to choose between competing or maybe compromising. Competing means I win and you lose. I get what I want and you don't get what you want. I get the position you sacrificed. Now, compromising means that neither of us gets what we really want, so we both lose. I don't get the deal term that's best for me, and you don't get the deal that's best for you. And we both walk away disappointed. So what's the alternative? The alternative is the buy me concept, the buy me mindset, where life is happening for me, through me, and as me, where we see life as not happening to me, but by me in an empowered way. It's the third option of collaboration, where collaboration becomes available and all kinds of possibilities emerge. We move into the field of infinite possibilities. And when we all see ourselves as conscious spiritual leaders here at Unity of Tustin, we can consciously collaborate to engage all problems that might arise in our spiritual community with this win-for-all mindset. So the keys to conscious collaboration are an interdependent mesh of values that we covered earlier in this book. We express ourselves with candor but without blame. We approach solutions with full transparency and openness. We focus on sufficiency, staying open to the possibility that all of our heart's desires being met is possible. And we're also committed to support, as Craig taught earlier, as being allies to one another, learn in our learning and growth, and seeing conflicts as challenges in service to each other's development and life path evolution and transformation. So finally, we create win-for-alls when we're committed to curiosity. Curiosity cultivates a wondering about outcomes that are available and that aren't available when we're in analytical thinking mode. And that allows solutions to emerge that no one could have even imagined, that drop from the sky as if from God. And kind of is, because it is all God when we're in that mindset. So the book recommends considering win-for-all coaching questions. So in one of my next salons, just to give you a little peek if you want to come, we'll do these coaching questions for our beloved Unity of Tustin. When we look at our community and we want to affirm a dynamic community for the long term, think of these questions and we can go over them in a salon. Are we committed to seeing others in our community as equals and allies in our collaboration? What is the biggest idea that our teamwork could create? What do we need to become to create this vision? What do we need to let go of to create this vision? Beliefs, attitudes, feelings, experiences. What resources do we already have that could support this vision? Who else could join in the partnership? And how can our collaboration support us all to get what we want? So stay tuned and join if you want to have a conversation about that. But now we're going to show a short video on how to create win-for-all outcomes. And then we'll come back and move on to commitment 15, being the resolution. See you in a bit.
Commitment 14 of the 15 Commitments of Conscious Leadership says, I commit to creating win-for-all outcomes. This is a radical commitment. Most of us are used to creating win-lose outcomes, where I get what I want, but you don't get what you want, or you get what you want, and I don't get what I want, a typical win-lose game. That comes from a zero-sum concept. In other words, there's a pie. Every piece of the pie you get is the piece of the pie that I don't get. So from that consciousness of scarcity, we're going to get into the competition of win-lose. Some people move from win-lose to lose-lose. Lose-lose is actually compromise. In compromise, neither of us gets what we most want. We say, okay, the way we're going to get to an outcome here is we're both going to give stuff up. Most teams and organizations live in either win-lose or lose-lose. Conscious leaders explore the possibility of win for all. Now, in order to create a win for all, several things have to be true. First, you have to be open to the possibility that there's enough. It's not a zero-sum game. There's not scarcity. You have to be open to the possibility that if our collaboration was to be a win for all, together we'd expand the size of the pie. As the pie gets larger, as there's more sufficiency, then we can explore win for all. Another key to win for all is everybody involved has to get incredibly clear about what it is they most want. What are the must-haves? What are the things that for the deal to feel really fabulous to you, you need this outcome? And then you've got to be willing to get transparent, vulnerable, and authentic about it. You've got to tell each other what it is you most want. Next, in order to create win for all, we both have to stand for the other getting what they most want. In win-lose, I take care of myself. In lose-lose, I'm still protecting myself. In win for all, I take a stand for you and what you most want. It's radical to be part of a team, to be in an organization where people have chosen to commit to creating win-for-all outcomes.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video, and now let's continue our exploration as we put it all together with the final commitment, kind of the whole that's greater than the sum of the parts that emerges when we practice all these principles, kind of like when we practice all the powers, we become the Christ. When we practice all these principles, we become the resolution. And the commitment above the line is I commit to being the resolution or solution that is needed, seeing what is missing in the world as an invitation to become that which is required. And the below the line commitment is I commit to responding to the needs of the world with apathy or resentment and doing nothing or assigning blame to others. Well, let's explore how we can be and become the resolution more and more. When consciousness sees the world as consisting of victims, villains, and heroes, even if we take on the hero role and overfunction in this capacity, you can often swing from caring too much to then caring too little and result in apathy, resentment, or blame. And this can show up as projecting onto others the idea that they just don't get it. Or resignation. The problem is just too big. For example, the problem with obesity in our country is just too big. I can't take on the food and beverage industry. So in this consciousness of cynicism, we can close our minds, we can close our hearts, we can move into apathy and forget that life doesn't happen to me, but happens for me, by me, as our divine selves. So a great way to live into being the resolution is to see what is missing. And this is a great distinction. See what is missing, not what is lacking. And what is missing in a way that if it were present would enhance the situation. So for example, a beautiful song with only one verse is not wrong. It's not a problem. It's not lacking. It's simply that adding a second or third verse would make it even more beautiful. Can you feel the difference? It's a beautiful distinction. It's really hit me in a way that was quite meaningful. If we're alone and we don't want to be, it's not that it's a problem to be fixed. It's just that if we had a partner, we might experience more love and we might be able to share more of the love that we have overflowing. That's the mindset. That's the shift we're looking for. So I hope you can see the important difference. When you look at your world, whether it's at work or in your personal life or here at Unity of Tustin, it's asking what could be more? What is missing, not lacking? What could be even more beautiful, more efficient, more aligned, more productive? And then we have the invitation to add to what is already whole by being and becoming that which is missing that we see. So the question often is, if the world is whole, perfect, and complete, then why do anything? And the answer is, because we can. Because that's what we can choose to do with this one wild and precious life, this God energy that we have as our birthright. And what is missing becomes our invitation to be part of the creative dance of life and bring our beautiful gifts into this beautiful world and be the resolution which is missing. There will be doing, but the doing is sourced from inspiration, it's sourced from the eternal, it's sourced from joy, those qualities that don't run out. And now everything belongs because what we see as missing is the gift that shows us who it is that we need to become. It goes together really, really well. So what does living this look like in action? Our book gives an example very similar to what might possibly happen on our own very sacred meditation gardens. So let's do that. One of us is walking on these beautiful, sacred, intentional grounds and notice several pieces of trash. Now, when we are in a to-me consciousness below the line, we notice the trash, we resent the person for leaving it, and we either walk past the trash with apathy, or we pick it up feeling resentful, or we pick it up prideful for being better than the person that threw the trash, or we call up Mary Jean to complain. But I think. Now, what does above the line commitment look like? What does that behavior look like? Well, here, you notice the trash and you see the beauty and the holiness of our sacred meditation gardens. And then you hear an invitation. Could our campus be even more beautiful? Then you check in with yourself and you see, do you want to receive this invitation? Is there a whole body yes? And if there is that whole body yes, you accept the invitation. And if not, you joyfully say no. That's just not my dance today. That's perfectly okay. But if it is a yes, you would ask becoming questions like, who would I need to be or need to become to embody the consciousness I see missing when I notice the trash. And then we find ourselves naturally aligning with what would serve the world and our own evolution. Many actions are possible. We could pick up the trash joyfully. We could ask the person who left the trash to be responsible and pick it up themselves. We could call Mary Jean and offer to purchase and install a luxury trash can that also beautifies the space at the same time. We tune into and do what we discern needs to be done in the moment. With joy, we do what needs to be done. So in practice, this increasingly becomes a way of living. And now, as leaders, at the end of the 15 commitments of conscious leadership, and we will fall, but we will also get it. We can become the missing element here in our lives, here at Unity of Tustin, and in the world. From beingness, we act, not just once, but again and again, from the consciousness of the conscious spiritual leader. So let's end by reinforcing this in our own selves with the following activity. Now's the time to put these teachings into practice. So I invite you to take 10 minutes each. There's 2 handouts, one for Commitment 14 and creating a win for all solution, and one for Commitment 15 being the resolution. So take 10 minutes each to complete both handouts. And remember, you can use an example from your personal life, or you can use one that you're experiencing here at Unity of Tustin, because we are honored that part of spiritual community is to be the sacred laboratory for each of us to practice showing up above the line as our best selves, as the resolution. So fill out those handouts, do it thoughtfully, and then share with your small group any ahas, insights, sensations, or new awarenesses that you experienced. So finally, being the resolution is directly in alignment with unity prayer, where we become the consciousness we seek and we embody the wholeness that we are looking for. So let's commit together to be the resolution so our whole life becomes a living prayer. Thank you so much for being part of this journey to become and be the resolution as conscious spiritual leaders. And God bless.